And welcome back, everybody. My name, wow. My name is Marcus, and we're here with a Tekkit Classic playthrough episode 2. You'll notice I made some changes, nothing special. I added a room for the bed, and then that's eventually where the machines that we're hopefully going to be building some of this episode are going to be going. All right, so I did go and do some mining like I promised. Not okay. I did kind of a bunch. It took a lot to find the resources I needed. So I got the rubber tree farm going, nothing special, it's just a few trees. I upgraded the farm itself a little bit. I finally got some bread out of it, so no more everlasting hunger. Woohoo! Um, so the idea here is that, or at least the idea that I like to follow by, is that the most important machines to make it first are the generator. I like to go for the battery box just so I don't have to worry about waiting for resources to pick back up on a later, or not resources, but power to pick back up to keep up with the resources if I say forget to restock the generator, or whatever it may be. So for me that's more of a comfort situation, but nonetheless, let's see, we grab that so we can finish that. Alright, so, I don't know how we're going to do this here. I made this a little small to start with, but the idea is that this is going to have a glass ceiling here, and it'll let the daylight in. We're going to put a set of double doors here, but nothing special. So, to get started, you're going to want right around 21 iron, 16 copper, 16 tin, and it all depends on if you're going to insist on starting with fiberglass cables or not. I am not insisting on it. We will be upgrading to them later, however, but for now, we don't need anything better than the copper cables. And make sure they're insulated, because if you don't insulate them, you will get shocked by them, and it will not be a fun day for anybody. Now, a little trick that I have found is when you're going to build your machine room, is you don't want your cables all just hanging out and being ugly and whatever else. So I always like to dig out an extra layer underneath. So that way, if I want to, say, for example, change up the room a little bit, I don't have to fight with it later. So we're going to be doing the floors out of cobblestone just because it's, well, a resource I already have a ton of. So nothing special, nothing fantastic. And it'll just get things going. Now, I do have quite a bit of that, so that's okay, due to some of the strip mining I've done. Here we go. Alright, so we'll get the floor in, and then we're going to go ahead and start making some machines. My first machine is going to be a macerator. And more or less because for every one ore you put into it, you get 2 back. Well, 2 ingots worth of metal out of it. And that's my primary reason. So let's get a door on here, and then I might just throw a cobblestone roof on this thing just because, oh my goodness, that weather. Alright, let's turn this down a bit. Wrong buttons. There we go. Sound. Much better. Wow, is that loud. Alright. Get a doors on here. Woohoo! Alright. And then let's make a few pressure plates just because I like to have them. It auto closes my doors for me, and I'm lazy like that. Alright, and I would put one here normally, but it's not really worth it. So, wow, is that weather loud? So let's get started here. We're gonna need, and since I have some iron smelted up because I wanted to make a pair of shears so I can get a bed going, but we're not gonna be doing that right at this moment, especially not with that weather like that. We're gonna want about, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're gonna need about that much there. Like I said, you only need 16 to start with this, and you only need, where is it? There it is. 16. In fact, 16 tin is all you need. You might need a little more copper or not, depending on how big you want your setup to be. You need redstone. You need the sticky resin. And then you're going to want a little bit of cobblestone because you're not going to want to wait on 14 furnaces. Or wait on one furnace to do 14 jobs. You're going to want multiple furnaces to do all of one job. So then that pretty much finishes the list of things we need from in here, except for some coal, of course. And that gets us on a head start. So in here you're going to throw in just a couple of coal. You're going to throw in your iron. And then down here you're going to want to make a couple more furnaces. Don't worry, whatever you make in furnaces, you will end up using eventually. Maybe not right away, but you will end up turning into something else. So never ever worry about whether or not you're going to need them. Alright, and then I am going to place this last furnace up here, and we're just going to I don't know. Yeah, we'll just do 24 of them. And the reason I limit the coal per thing is not because, like, I don't want to have the coal there for a later purpose or whatever else. I just like to have it controlled. Now we're going to need a total of 11 refined iron and then 5 non-refined, so that is what we need re-smelted, and then we only need that much smelted. So we don't want to overdo what we're going to need for iron, because right now we don't have very much, and yes, we can always go mine more, but we also want to try to get as much of the resources as we can out of it. Right now it's a bigger concern, whereas later it won't be. So now we're getting some rubber, we're starting to get some copper, we're starting to get that tin. What we're going to be doing with the tin is we're going to be turning it into, no, not these, here. There we go, and it's 6, pull that down, put the rubber with it, and I'll show you that here right away, is you'll take each piece of tin like so, there, and then just like that. And then you'll need to make 4 of these in total. 1 for the generator, 3 for the battery box, and then, yeah. So it just kind of works its way out, and you'll see how that all turns out. All the copper that you'll be making of the 16 can be turned right into wires. You won't need it for anything else. There. Now we have all the iron or copper we need for the circuit. We're just now basically waiting on a furnace to free up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that there. Then we'll take this last furnace. Oh, we didn't make another one. That's okay, we'll wait on one. Alright. We have enough to make 2 more batteries. There we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 2. Alright, so now we have all the resources to make the battery box, literally. So that's made simply 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then 1 wire. And then we're still just waiting on a little bit more of other resources here, nothing too much. Let's get this turned into wires real quick. And then now we have some refined iron. I can make the circuit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Alright, now I can make that last battery. And now this stuff I'm not looking up. Like I said, I've played this a lot before, so this stuff is pretty common for me to remember how to make. For example, later on this won't be so easy for me to remember all this, because there are a lot of recipes, but the reason I say go with the 5 iron is because there's 2 ways to make an iron furnace. You can do it like this, and you will need one, or you can do basically the chest pattern, but with iron, and it'll also make an iron furnace. But for beginning resource saving, you want to do it like this. So 1 iron furnace and a battery, and then I need 3 refined iron. So 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2, and there's your generator, battery box, copper, cabling. Let's see, we can get just a little bit more copper cabling because it doesn't hurt to have a little extra. And then the last of the refined iron I was going to need. Oh, I need one more. How did I mess that math up? Oh, the electronic circuit. I know how I did it. So we're going to need one more iron. There we go. So, if I remember it, we started out with 15 iron, because there's 5 plus 7, there's 13, 14, I don't know. It was either 15 or 14 iron, and so we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I don't know. I messed up the numbers somewhere. But you'll need the 5 for the generator, the 8 for the machine block for the machine we're about to make, and then you're also going to need the 1 for here. And then you're probably going to need to make an iron pickaxe so you can get the redstone and whatever else. Alright, where did I put it? There it is. You'll need 3 flint. There we go. So you put the 3 flint in like that. You put cobblestone on each side. You put the machine block right there in the center, and then an electronic circuit. Now, if you don't know how to make this stuff, you can always do it like this. So, like, you can go MACE, hit enter, and then as long as you're in either utility mode, which is what I'm in, or recipe mode, and then you can just click them, and it'll show you how to make them there. So then you can make the macerator. Now I have a generator, and I have the bat box. Now the generator is the next stepping piece, and then the power source I want to be using, I don't know how possible it's going to be though, just due to the fact that I haven't found any good lava sources. I found a couple of lava spots, but not really any lava sources, but geothermal energy. Oh, if I can spell geothermal. Alright, this is how you make this. It's a couple pieces of glass, some empty cells, which are made simply enough. But that's tin, a couple pieces of refined iron, and then the generator. And then that puts out mid-voltage power, but you don't have to step it down, which is an amazing, and I do mean amazing feature. So we're going to want to put this on an outer wall, more or less, just for the simple fact that it will produce the power, and say when I do upgrade it to a geothermal, I can put lava in a tube out here and then just pump it right into it. So then we're going to bring this down, just like so, and then we're going to go down one more. We're going to shift click. Oh no, that didn't go the way I wanted it to. Shift and click, so that way the little orange dot here is pointing down. So that way you can run your wires right out of there, and then the power will go in from there into any one of these blank sides, and then it'll come out where that orange spot is. Then you can just keep on going. Now, I need to get out of this mess. Here we go. And you just simply just move along. I like to try to set up the macerator at 3 away from the initial power source, so that's where the macerator is going to be going. And then you're going to want to bring the power cable up one more and just set it there. Now, granted, you can't see your power, you can't see how much power you have left, but if that is a concern, you can always do something like this, where you just bring a step down right there, and voila, then you can just right click on it, see it. And as you can see, we don't have any power, so we'll just throw some coal in there real quick. And then we'll see the power levels not climbing yet, but that's because it's filling the internal battery, which is this little red arrow here. And then it'll start filling on it all the way up. So then now we can just go over, get our resources, and throw them in there. Let's see, we're going to start with iron, just because we use so much of it for this mod pack. And then one iron ore turns into 2 iron dust, and each iron dust turns into 1 iron ingot. Ingot, however it's pronounced. I've never really cared too much. And then these slots here are for upgrading. Now you can put transformer upgrades into it, so that way you can go from low voltage, which is what it's running on now, to mid voltage and high voltage. Or you can put overclocker upgrades, which are admittedly a little painful to make. Not too bad though. And then with the overclocker upgrades, it'll speed this up, so this isn't so gosh darn slow. So Now, our next step is to try to get it to pump the stuff out of here automatically. Now, we're starting to get some iron out of it, so that way we can start smelting more down. And with that iron, we'll be making another iron furnace, so we can make it into a electric furnace. So it pumps right out of here, it goes into an electric furnace, and then goes into a chest. So that way it does all that for us. And that's not a super feasible setup with our power source yet, but it will work. It makes it for that ease of convenience. And then also we're going to want to build a piston. Let's see, I have one extra iron for making the piston, so that's okay. I have the redstone, the cobblestone, and the dirt. Okay, I have everything on me, thankfully. Don't always happen. It doesn't always turn out like that, but it turned out. So we'll make one piston, and then we're going to need to make 2 gears, because we're going to turn this into a redstone engine. We need some glass, so we need some sand. Let's go grab there, because I am going to bring this lake down a little bit. I don't like how shallow it is. Alright, a piece of glass, and then we'll need 3 more wood, which we've got. So we will have everything we need to make this here in a moment. Alright, so, and then we are going to need 1 more piece of glass to make this work out, because, well, we're going to need 2 more pieces of glass to make this work out. 1 to make the cobblestone pipes, and 1 to make the wooden pipes. Shut that. Alright, so we're going to make, I think it's like this. Yeah. So we're going to need some cobblestone pipes, and then some wood pipes. The wood pipes are the draw pipe. They can take power, and in specific they take redstone flux, or RF, or at least that's what it used to be called. I think it's still called MJs at the moment. Eventually they get called something else. We're going to put the wood transport pipe there, and we're going to get our resources, even though I'm about to waste that much here in a moment, but that's okay. Then we're going to put that there, and then we're going to make some levers, because you're going to be making a lot of levers, I promise you. Let's see, let me just put that there. Does that work? Yes, it does. And now it's going to spit out some iron dust. But we don't want that there because we want to be able to access this lever. Eventually it won't be an issue, but we'll put this lever right here because we want this to go up and over into the iron electric furnace that's going to be going here. And then we're also going to want to bring the power over to there. So we're going to break that open, come down here, and then do we have enough? And we do not have enough at the moment, but we will be able to make more. So hop back up, come on over, click on this. We're going to need more than 6 more wires. We're also going to need more than that many more rubber. We do have enough, barely. So just 2 wood, because that equals out to exactly 3 items burnable. Alright, so with this, that makes enough to make the circuit we're going to need. Then we're going to need to smelt down 1 more iron. I know I said 1 more, but like I said, at this point it's pure profit. Alright, so I'm going to throw that in there, and then as soon as that's done, we're going to drop 1 in here. Oh, I did a little early, didn't I? Oh well. And an extra one I guess wouldn't hurt, because I do have enough. Wow, I made a mistake today. Woohoo! Mistakes are fun to make though. Alright, so now we gotta make another iron chest, so that's what we're gonna turn this into. Or not iron chest, but iron furnace. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, put that there, pull that out. We need to make an electronic circuit. One of these on each side. After, of course, I make some more copper cables, because dang. They have to be the insulated copper cables to make these circuits. You cannot use the non-insulated, and that's what makes this a little more rough than what I prefer. So, I believe it's like, there we go, yeah. I usually get good at messing that recipe up. So we come on over, and like I said, make sure these are insulated for when you're doing these builds, because they will shock you if they're not. Alright, then you put that there, and then you can turn this on, and it'll pump right out of there and into here. I'll just throw those in there, and you'll remember there's 22. Oh, we'll see. But it'll come out of here, and it'll come over, go into there, and then this will smelt them out. And then you can leave it like this, and you can just pull the stuff out as you need it. Or what I'm going to be doing, once I make another furnace here, or not furnace, but redstone engine, is make a chest that it'll pump out of, or pump out of here into the chest then. And then there you go, the very first little bit of automation. So I know I didn't really set a goal for today, but you know what? It not raining is a darn good goal. Hopefully when I come back, this will have a glass roof. And then, yeah. So, to get an idea here of how much mining and whatnot, ooh, you know what else we can do? I can set a goal. We can make a bed. Alright, let's set that as our goal, and then we'll call it a day. We'll make some more engines and whatnot. This is just the very beginning of the process. This is a very slow process. And since that's finished up, let's see, we'll do copper next. And let's see if that's not a power, it is a power problem. See, get some more coal in there. I only put 4 or 5 in at a time, just because, otherwise, especially with just a couple of machines, you really don't reap the benefits of it. You don't really reap the benefits of the power output to the power input. So otherwise you just end up producing excess power, and then your coal just generally goes to waste. The geothermal generators actually have an on and off, where they shut on and off automatically, and they don't generate more power than what's needed, more or less. So that way, once the battery's full, they stop charging, and so they shut off. Whereas the coal generator, once it's burning, it's burning. It'll burn all the way through that piece of coal before stopping. So, yeah. But now let's go find some sheep. And I did turn the mob detection on my radar here. If you don't know how to do that, I can definitely show you how. It's not super difficult. Alright, so I found some chickens. So that's always good for food, I guess. But I'm looking for sheep. We need some wool to make a bed. If I had a tap with me, I'd hit up that rubber tree really quick. I don't. Alright, so... Oh, what in the heck? Are these sheep over here? Is that a cow, I'm guessing? No, that's a sheep. I found a sheep! Sheeps ahoy! Which is always amazing, especially when all you want is a bed. Alright. 1 sheep, black sheep. 2 sheep, white sheep. 3 sheep, white sheep. Alright. Oh, I have all the wool I need. I don't think I can make carpets yet. I think I think that's a later stage of the Minecraft. This is, if I remember right, this is based off of beta 1.8. So there's jungles and jungle temples and desert temples, but there isn't all the features that vanilla Minecraft today has. So keep that in mind. This has not been updated for a very long time. If you haven't noticed by the recipes, for example, Industrial Craft or IC2, the machine patterns are definitely way different for crafting. So if you're looking for something that's a little more updated, a little more current, I do have the 1.7.10 pack. It has it has some of the equivalent exchange, but it's not called equivalent exchange anymore. Though I very do much prefer my Tekkit Classic. Alright, let's get some materials to make a bed quick. 1, 2, 3. And I will try to keep this organized, at least for you guys. For me, I really have an organization fetish when it comes to this, I guess you can say. But yeah, we have our first bed. We have the house. It's definitely more than a lean-to now. Alright guys, thank you very much, and I will see you guys next time.